Hey everybody, it's Jane Johnston with the Briar Hill Group, Max Camosin, host of Vancouver Island Time and Now Community Talks. We are here today with Carolyn Harries-Duncan of What to Wear with Carolyn. Carolyn is an awesome person. I've known her for a number of years. She is extraordinaire, former hairdresser. She looks at your whole look. And I went, was it in January? I think I went on an excursion with you, right? To buy some clothes. Yeah, in January.
Was it January? I thought it was before Christmas, but it might have been January. I've lost track of time. Who hasn't?
Okay, it might have been December. It was on a Tuesday.
Going to some networking event in December and you wore it to one of your networking events, what we picked out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell people what you do. So we do two things, right? But let's focus on the what to wear.
Yeah. So I've worked in retail for many, many years, primarily running businesses for other people, generally some kind of purchase, things that people purchase. So I help people find their style.
Yep.
And figure out what it is that makes them light up from the inside. So I love to dive into what people are wearing and figure out what will increase their level of confidence, how they feel about things, how they see themselves. Is there a correlation between how they're perceived and how they think they are, how you put yourself out there in the world? So that whole sense of dressing the way you feel rather than dressing because you feel like it should be what you do. So it's helping people shine from the inside. That's what really turns me on.
So I find this kind of interesting because a number of years ago, first of all, move a bit to your right because you're not square.
Right.
Yeah. Perfect. And a few years ago, when I was the managing director at eWomen Network, I'd say to people, okay, dress me in whatever you want me to wear, and I'll just wear it and put on any jewelry. I'll be like your Barbie.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so they would do that. But, then I moved to shopping and I'd say, okay, friends, I'm trying on 5 dresses. Which ones you think I should wear? And everyone would vote. And one person said to me once, you need to wear that dress of the 5. And I said, why? And they said, because that's the dress that you're smiling the most in. And right. That's the one that made me feel good.
Yeah. And sometimes people get dressed and it's almost like they have a little uniform. They dress in a way that they think is appropriate for what they're doing, or they think it's how you should dress for whatever job you're in. And that doesn't always benefit you. It should be that you feel fabulous in what you're wearing, whether it's, I know that you have a bit of a thing with Fluvox shoes. So if it's a pair of shoes that just makes you light up, if it's, for me, it's jackets. I love jackets. So I have quite a little collection of jackets and coats.
Yeah.
And no matter what I put on, there are days when I'm getting dressed and I think, oh, should I really put this on? And I'll put a little jacket over the top and it just completely finishes what it is that I'm wearing. And it makes me have that confidence of, okay, now I feel like I'm ready to just conquer the world. So that's what I have fun with.
Are you finding right now, like, our retail stores open? Because what you're doing really is you're shopping for people. You're like a personal, what would you call it?
Yeah, personal shopper. I help people find things that they're looking for. Quite often people don't know where to go. I've been trying to promote, like sharing on Instagram. Quite often I'll see some of the stores that are local stores here in Victoria. And there have been about half a dozen that I've been following quite regularly that have been open throughout this. And so there are lots of people who don't know that those are open. So I'll share that those stores are open and, the pictures or whatever that they're showing of what they have. So it's being able to source for people so that if they don't know where to find things, and then it's also being able to help them feel comfortable in the clothes that they already have. There are things that are quite often sitting in some that they have fallen out of love with because it doesn't feel that comfortable. Maybe there's some changes they've gone through. So putting people into things that they already have, maybe turning it around, maybe making it a little bit shorter, maybe shortening a sleeve, maybe taking a collar off. Sometimes it's tailoring, you know, it's helping people see what they have and use what they have, or source what they don't have to incorporate with what they already own.
So are you finding, like, are any of your clients shopping now, or how can they shop with you, I guess, now? How are you doing that with COVID-19?
Yeah, so most people, I think, are looking to online shopping to find the things that they might be looking for. For some people,
sorry.
Okay. For some people, it's, you know, something where they're a little bored, so they're online and they're looking for things, and they're wondering, you know, should I get this in? I'm not a huge online shopper, to be honest, because I'm very tactile. I like to feel things. I like to know what the materials are. I don't have an easy shape to fit, even though I think people think that I'm pretty standard shape. But if I find something that fits in the waist, I generally have to have the hips changed, or vice versa, or whatever it is. So I try and shop local wherever I can. And quite a few of the stores have been doing contactless delivery, or, you know, delivering it for people.
Curbside pickup?
Curbside pickup. So it's slowly starting to come back up. I've seen quite a few of our local stores saying, you know, we're open between such and such time, and you can come in for one-on-one appointments. I can do that in my business, so I can meet with people and, you know, wear masks and make sure that we're doing the physical distancing. I can do virtual appointments with people so that I can see what they have in their wardrobe and what it is that they are maybe lacking, or the things that quite often, if somebody takes something out and they'll show me what they have, they'll take something out and say, okay, I have this, I'm not really in love with it, and they'll put it to one side. So initially you might think, okay, that's something that they don't need or they don't like. And then I'll ask them, well, what is it that you don't like? And once they start talking about it, if they can put it on and you can show them how to wear it with other things that they see another side to it, they maybe don't need to shop as much. So some of it, you know, right now, times are tough, and frugal shopping is going to be something that I think is very important. So figuring out what you already have that you can reuse or repurpose, or finding things where you can start to develop a capsule closet, which means you have your basic everyday pieces that mix and match together. Maybe you don't need as much as you think.
So how many pieces are in a capsule closet?
It depends on the person and what they're doing, but anywhere from about 15 to about 30 pieces normally.
Okay.
So you would look at having something, I always think of it as travel. So if you were going to travel, what would you need if you were going for, say, a week or two, if you were going to Europe? You'd probably need at least one really great pair of pants that can do everything. You probably need a couple of blouses, maybe a couple of t-shirts, at least one skirt, probably one simple dress that you could put a jacket or a cardigan over. If you have a dress that is like the kind of dress that I'm wearing, that we call a pinafore dress, you could put a blouse underneath, or you could just leave it on its own and put a blouse over the top and tie it. Probably a couple of pairs of shoes, a good jacket, one sweater. That's pretty much the start of a capsule closet.
I've just learned I bring way too much.
Most people do. The rule of thumb is that whatever you pack, when you've packed it, take half of it out.
And bring twice the money.
Bring twice. Leave some space to bring something back in your suit. But that's one of the things I teach people, how to pack for 2 to 3 weeks in carry-on. I don't want to take anything more than a carry-on. And I can do a 3-week trip with a cruise, 7-day cruise, and time to go and visit my family in one carry-on.
Wow. Well, my Fluevog shoes wouldn't fit in a carry-on, so.
No, but you probably only need the pair that you wear on the plane and one other pair and a pair of walking shoes. And suddenly you can get 3 pairs of shoes into a carry-on suitcase.
Okay, so COVID-19 happened. How have you pivoted your business? How are things changing up for you?
My business has not changed dramatically in the sense that it was always something that I could do with people virtually as opposed to one-on-one if that worked better for them. And there are people that don't particularly want you going into their home. It's a little bit like when you have somebody who comes in and does cleaning and you feel like you want to clean your house before they come and do the cleaning.
Yeah.
Some people don't want, yeah, me too. Some people don't want you to really see what their closet looks like. So to do something virtually means that they can get the information without having to feel embarrassed about how things look.
I find though, to me, that's actually a great way to do it, because if you're going to, then what I can do is get everything ready before I meet you. Then I would meet you online and I would just literally parade, show, and you would say yes, no, yes, no.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. And that can work really well. There are some people who, there are some people who don't really want to change their clothes in front of somebody else. So there are limitations, to what you can do in terms of what people feel comfortable with. So if it means that to only do virtual is the way they're comfortable, I'm quite happy to do that. I quite like to be there because sometimes when you put something on, it's the way you're wearing it. And because I've worked in the retail side of things for so long, I like to be quite hands-on. So don't have to, but that's one of the things I like. I like that connection with people. So sometimes the virtual for me is not my favorite thing to do because of the fact that I like to be there in person with people, because you're building that relationship with people. And I've always found with any service type of interaction, that's really what it is. It's all about the surface. It's the way you interact with people. It's the way you make people feel comfortable. It's the way you make it an experience for them that they're comfortable and they feel like it's something that they're getting part of me as well as the knowledge of what to do.
Right. So I found when I worked with you, you had gone into the stores before. We looked at a few pieces. I tried them on, and then with feedback, we went to another store. It was very easy.
Yes.
Very easy. And how much time do you usually spend with somebody if they need to do this?
I would say we can quite easily get things done if somebody is quite clear about what they're looking for. Within an hour and a half is probably enough time to get to maybe 2 or 3 different places and have them try some things on, some things that generally they wouldn't choose.
Well, the other thing you could do too is you could also go to the store and you could be in the store and video with them about and talk about what you're showing them, right?
I can do that. That's something you've been very good and almost inspirational. When I see you on TV and you're doing all these videos, Jane, I'm always thinking, oh, I should do more of that. I don't know if you remember, but when we did our session, our personal shopping session, we left the store and then I said, oh my God, I didn't take any pictures.
Right.
It feels so normal to me to just be, I've helped my friends find things. I've helped family members find, like, it just feels so natural. It doesn't feel like working. And because it doesn't feel like working, I don't make the connection that I should have things that I can show people what happens. So I'm trying to be more aware that that's part of my business too, because we're in an age where that's what people like to see. And it's seeing that experience with people and thinking, oh, I would like to have that experience. So yeah, I have to be much more diligent about being able to do that. The other thing that I've done for some of my clients is they're in their office or their place of work, and they only have a very limited amount of time. So they give me a brief on what they're looking for. I go to the suppliers that I know downtown, the local stores, they all know me. So I take things that I think fit the brief. I take it to their place of work. They try it on. If there are any kind of alterations, because I've worked in the industry, I can mark them to know what the alterations are. I will then leave them. They're still in their place of work. It's very easy. I will take them to be altered. If they don't need to be altered, I leave the products with the client. I go back to the store. I use the credit card information they give me. I pay for them. They have it. Easy peasy. It can be done in a half-hour lunch break or an hour lunch break or whatever it is. So that's a really easy way for people who don't have the time or don't like to shop.
Right. Well, I could see you also like being the influencer and saying to a company, you know what, I'm doing a series on fashion in Victoria. And show up with your tripod and your cell phone and a mic like this.
Yes, separate mic.
It's called a lav mic, and just do a live video. I know you do a lot of Instagram. You could do it on Instagram or Facebook, where you just show up, this plug into your phone, and just go through like their top 5 pieces.
Yep.
They should be paying you to do that.
Thanks. Okay, right on that. I have really good relationships with the people in the downtown stores, and that was something I was developing before COVID-19. So that was something that COVID-19 has definitely interrupted, because that was part of the business that I was trying to expand. And then that possibility has now changed, not gone, but it has definitely changed. So yeah, that's something I would definitely look into.
Yeah, and I think I can see
the experience.
Pardon?
It's the experience. That's the thing that is the most fun for me, and quite often that's the thing that ends up being the most fun for the client, is having something be so easy that they sometimes will think is going to be so complicated and intimidating or boring or whatever it is, whatever thing that they don't like to do with clothes.
Yeah, and I think, like, for me, the conversation I had the other day with Tamara Passmore about clothing was interesting, because she talks about fabric and how fabric works, and you have that same, so that's why I called you and asked you if you wanted to be on the show, because I think a lot of people like me, I'm aware, do not put rayon in the dryer. Your pants are going to shrink 3 inches. Yes, how do I know that?
I know. And to be honest, on that point, I've really got away from putting anything in the dryer. I have a clothing rack, and I dry things on a clothing rack, and then I put them in the dryer for about 5 minutes, just to, if something needs to be softened, or if there's, some creases that you just need to tumble it a little bit. But I really, a lot of the fabrics that we are using nowadays are fabrics that are made for ease and comfort, but they respond differently sometimes when you wash them. So you do have to be careful with it. Or, people are doing a lot of dry cleaning. Some people don't like dry cleaning at all, and other people do a ton of dry cleaning. I love linen, and I love to iron, but some people are not interested in that side of things. So the fabrics you choose are very important for your comfort level.
Yeah, it's true. And I think they have to suit your personality. So I am wearing a linen shirt right now, but I am very well aware that it's wrinkled a lot.
Linen is supposed to look a little bit wrinkled. So that's the joy of being able to use linen. If you don't mind seeing the wrinkle, that's part of linen. The same way that you sometimes get little nubs in linen that quite often people will look at and say, there's an imperfection here, but it's not an imperfection. It's just that's how that yarn was created. Mm-hmm. I happen to be somebody who loves to iron. So I love linen, but I cannot wear linen that doesn't look ironed because just I love ironing.
Look at my
I know.
It's me crazy.
And it's not that I wouldn't wear something like that. It's just I would probably choose something that I don't look at myself and think, oh, I should have ironed this.
So, okay. So how do you talked about how you deliver to people downtown. What about delivering to them if they're, outside the core?
It depends. I mean, so all my information of, how we can do things is on my Facebook page, Watchwear with Carolyn. So I have it very clearly laid out in terms of what the fees are. It depends on the person. I don't mind going to people's homes. It depends what they need. There are some things that quite often I can do without having to travel to them. But if that's what it is, then, I'll work around whatever they need me to do because that's just the nature of the business.
Right. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So top 3 stores that you like right now that are open, and are they for men or women?
Primarily they're for women. I haven't really been following the men's side of things so much, I have to admit. Bernstein and Gold have been going throughout this entire COVID-19 situation. So they're on the bottom of Yates Street, just before Government Street, where the Starbucks coffee is there on the right-hand side. Yep. So they always have very interesting, they're a high-end store. So it's a higher price point. They quite often go to New York and do buying trips. And so they have things that are unique and they don't have many of them. So you're not going to be everybody dressed in the same things. Alamode Consignment in Oak Bay, on Oak Bay Avenue, right in the heart of by the Cobb's Bakery.
Oh, yeah.
They have been putting things up and making sales. Tulip Noir on Oak Bay Avenue just put up a few days ago that they're starting to do one-on-ones so people can go in and they can choose things from there. Alamode Consignment is consignment shopping, so that's going to be a better price point. Very gently used, really great selection. She does bring other things in. Tulip Noir is casual, I would say designer casual, so kind of loungy. If you're a mum, say, who you want to take your, outside of COVID-19, if you want to take your kids out for a walk and you don't want to look like you're in your sweatpants, it's nice, comfortable, casual, higher end. Sorry?
That sounds like me.
Yes, I think you would find some really, and they've got good sizing, so you would find some really good things in there. And those are the ones that I've seen the most that have been really working hard to keep their clients knowing that they're going to get through this and they're going to be there at the other end. So those would be my top 3.
Okay, so I have a question. Let me just look here. Connie Smith is saying hello. Hi, Connie. Milan Milan from the Okanagan is saying hello, and so is Linda Mackey. I just have a question for you. What do you call it when you rearrange somebody's wardrobe? I think that's the best thing people could be doing right now.
Yes. So you're creating a capsule closet is what I talked about in terms of whittling down. So if you have a capsule closet, it stops you from doing that thing where you open up the closet and you say, I've got all these clothes and I don't know what to wear. So it actually condenses what you have in your closet. You go through and you decide, okay, these are the things that I can live without. These are the things that I want to start building a capsule closet around them. And you create your everyday closet to be that pair of pants that will go with the jacket, that will go with the blouse, that will go with the sweater. So you can do layering. You can layer up as much as you want. You can layer down as much as you want. It becomes your everyday go-to pieces.
Okay. So if you guys are feeling that you need to rearrange your closet, maybe while you're at home and you have the time, contact Carolyn with whattowearwithcarolyn.com. Is that right?
It's my Facebook page, What to Wear with Carolyn.
What to Wear with Carolyn.
At whattowearwithcarolyn@gmail.com.
Okay.
Is my email account, and my telephone number is 250-532-3642 if you just want to give me a buzz and chat about things.
Okay. And if you want to reach her on Facebook, you could also do that. You could message her through her Facebook account at Carolyn Harries-Duncan. Okay.
Instagram, What to Wear with Carolyn.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. So stay tuned because Carolyn is going to do something fun with me on my 30 and 30 with her Beautycounter products. So be prepared for a change in my visage, and hopefully I'll come out more beautiful at the end. If you want more information, contact Carolyn. If you want more information about what's happening in real estate, contact me. I'm Jane Johnston with the Bar Hill Group at Remax Camosun. Please go to my YouTube page and like my account. We are trying to get to 1,000. I think we're maybe just less than 100 right now. And we're looking to highlight people in retail right now. So please message me if you're interested in being on the show. We want to talk to you and figure out how we can help you make your business work. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay. Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye.
Bye.